Hare Krishna, welcome you all for our e-Gurukula sessions. And today is Tuesday, we have a story session. And as we are going on, discussion about Mahabharata series. So while we are studying Mahabharata series, or for that matter, anything we read or hear, the main purpose is to bring out that change of heart. Education, if it is not causing transformation, then that remains only information. It is of no use. It becomes only headweight. But if education can bring out from that information the real transformation, turning from material view to the spiritual view, and bringing out the good qualities and the proper behaviors and dealings, then that is perfect. And that's what we study these great episodes, which are all related with the life of the great devotees and the Lord Krishna. So, as we're in Vrindavan, yesterday morning we rushed for the Darshan Arti. 4 o'clock, 4:10 the Darshan Arti happens in Prabhupada Samadhi Mandir, and 4:30 in the main temple. So when we are coming, our devotees, they carried chappals, so they dropped suddenly because it was getting late. So Arti was about to start. So they just dropped the chappals, footwears near the shoe stand. And after the Arti over, when they came back, Arti, Darshan, everything is over. We wanted to leave for Parikrama. So we were coming out. So they saw that their chappals are missing. And especially when there are thousands of people, and especially in the holy places, right? Missing of chappal is a common experience. How many of you had before? Or you heard about people losing their chappals or gone or misplaced? Because so many people, somebody wore or somebody stole, or God knows. So they were looking everywhere around and all. And that time it was nobody around because everyone had already scattered. After Arti, we waited for 15-20 minutes to chant few rounds before we start. And in that 15-20 minutes, many people left. So nobody was there around. And our devotees were searching all around. There is no chappal visible. Chappals are lost. Then there was that chappal person who takes care of that shoe stand. There was a shoe stand also, but our devotees are dropped just outside. So that shoe stand person came, and then he saw us searching for chappals. Then he asked what happened. Then he said our chappals were not visible. It's got misplaced or lost. Then he asked what kind of chappals they are. Then our devotees described. They're black. They have a belts or whatever it is and things. Then he went inside that shoe stand and brought out some chappals and gave to the devotees. He said, "Oh yes, exactly. These are the chappals." they were all chappals, his chappals. And then how it went inside, this devotee, the shoe stand devotee, what he does, he whoever leaves chappal all around and all, he picks them up and keeps in a shoe stand properly, so that chappals which are scattered outside, they don't get lost or they don't go away here and there. She personally takes in the hands and puts it into the shoe stand. And he doesn't take any kind of a remuneration also, just as a service for the devotees there. And all throughout the years, you see him. So every day he comes early morning at 4:30 or 4 o'clock, and then whole night till late nights, whole day, he will be here for serving and arranging the chappals of the devotees. Now, who bothers? Isn't it? We all have a straight reason to say, "Arey, you kept chappal outside. Don't you understand? You should keep chappal inside." And generally, we'll give a reason. That's your mistake. Don't you know you should keep chappal here? But this devotee, he goes out of the way and picks up the chappals of the devotees and exactly knows whose chappal is where and what, and he keeps it properly, gives it back. You are finding the difference between the dealing of this devotee and the dealing of the world outside, how the people they deal. Yes or no? You're able to understand the difference? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So that's what yesterday I was speaking, right? So if you want to be the place of the Lord, that is our goal, right? To go back to Lord. So to learn from the devotees of the Lord. So devotees of the Lord, they are in a giving mood. They are always extending the services for others, always giving for others, not for a grabbing mood or kind of questionings or saying that it's not mine, it's yours, or things and all, complaining or living. So they always extend and serve the devotees for others. So it's very much important to learn this good quality of sacrifice, services, doing services for others, and at the cost of one's inconvenience. Generally, chappals nobody touch. Then if we touch the chappal, we should wash the hands. It's our cleanliness standards. But this devotee, he goes on putting the chappals of the, not by legs, not by throwing it, but by his hands, he will put it in the shelves and again give them back. And very, very happily, very, very joyfully. So service should be done with the heart, with the details, and it should be done for the pleasure of the devotees, so that devotees are happy. Then Krishna will take a note. Then Krishna takes recognizes. So such great character, such great values. What he will get, shoe stand, how much salary they will get. They will not get lakhs of rupees or some kind of basic remuneration. And that too, generally people, what they do outside world when they get a job, they look for a better post. Anyone knows what is that word in English? You can ask your parents. What is that word when they get, they want to go for a better post? They join as a trainee. Promotion. They want to go, that's called as a promotion. Why? What is the advantage of getting promotion? What happens? What happens?
More salary.
One gets some more salary, one gets more money. So the want of more money is the desire, and for that they look for. But here this devotee is going on serving for years together on a chappal stand, without any desire of, kind of looking for some higher things or better things, because that is the nature of the Lord and that is the nature of the devotees. Lord doesn't see what big things we do or what small things we do. Lord sees with what attitude we do, with what heart we do. Then Lord reciprocates 100%. So we have to keep a very, very good heart, proper heart. And such devotees, easily they will go back to God, because they have pleased the devotees, they have served the Lord. So they're serving the devotees selflessly, without looking for a profit or a benefit or things, without looking for personal comfort or discomforts and all. They're just extending for the service of devotees. So this is amazing. We get to see in the holy places. The holy places, there are the holy people and leading a holy life. And of course, there are some other kind of unscriptural people also, but we're to be watchful. But we should be open enough to spot the very good service people also, so that we can really, and you can ask the students who came with us, how much they got touched. Yesterday I told the laptop incident, and today I told you chappal incident. They were spellbound. They could not express kind of feelings they received from these people, how much they're having a service spirit. So then if same spirit we continue in our home, in our places, wherever we live, then that place becomes Vrindavan. Vrindavan is not a physical location, geographical location, but it is a consciousness. So then that's what Srila Prabhupada gave us so beautifully, so amazingly, by establishing our ISKCON society for all of us. So let us express our gratitude and pray to Prabhupada so that we can cultivate this nice spirit. So this attitude we should learn whenever we study the various lessons or episodes or various things we hear and learn. We should look forward. What are the ideal standards? How the great devotees they dealt in the different situations? What is my standard? And what is my attitude in those situations? And what is a way to fill that gap? How can I also raise my consciousness? How can I also raise my attitude? Then we'll be able to progress. Okay. Hare Krishna. So let us begin with the prayers of today's session. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So let us come to the discussion of Mahabharata. Are you all able to see this Veda-based screen? Is it visible? Hare Krishna. Is the screen is visible to you all?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. So last week we read how Pandu could not suppress his desire, and he got carried away towards Madri, and finally he lost his life because of the curse. And both the wives were crying piteously, and then the Pandavas, the 5 sons, they were kept aside, kept a little far so that they don't get affected by this news. Right? And up to that point, I think we stopped. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. And Kunti prayed, "Oh Madri, yeah, I shall end." Now let's read here from here. Kunti prayed for the strength. Somehow this was God's arrangement. The ways of providence were always mysterious, isn't it? Providence means what? What do you understand by providence? Krishna. The ways of providence were always mysterious.
God.
Sorry? God, huh? Okay. What is exact meaning? Correct. The God is also for that also. But what is exact meaning of the providence? In Hindi, they call it as Daiva. Or there is some songs in our local language they used to sing. Nobody can understand how this the Daiva is working. The providence is the will of the providence, and of course we know that that's a God only. The time factor, yeah. So today we are like this. Tomorrow suddenly something comes up and all. How it happened? Who did that and all? Nobody knows. So Pandava's life, especially the Pandu, Kunti, Madri, Dhritarashtra, right, and then the what is the Shantanu Raja, and then the right Satyavati. All their life went such a mysterious way. Vyasa coming and then Ambika, Ambalika. How the things are coming up, it's all mysterious. But what should be done now? What was her duty? She gently stroked the head of her younger co-wife and said, "Oh Madri, there is only one recourse for me. Please allow me to ascend to heaven with our Lord." Who is that our Lord? Anyone is understanding? with our Lord?
Pandu. Pandu.
The Raja Pandu. Rise up and raise our children. Give me the body, and tightly embracing it, I shall enter fire. So this is called as what? There is a name given by the people. This system is called as what? Kunti is telling that I will go with our Lord, with our husband, and I shall enter the fire. What is this system called as? Which later it got into the wrong way. People did not understood the spirit. What is this system called as? No one knows. Very, very famous. The wife entering into the fire with the husband. This system is called as what? Previously also we had discussion. No one remembers. It's called as Sati. You heard the name? Sati Vrata. Anyone knows? Sati. It's called as entering into the fire. So the Kunti, and actually why this is happening? This is not because of out of a ritual. This is out of the love for the husband. So the wife has so much love for the husband that the separation causes more trouble than the problem of the fire. Fire burns us, right? Fire causes a lot of injury to the body. But that pain is tolerable, manageable than the fire of separation. The husband and wife getting separated, that they could not tolerate. That's why they think that I will also enter into the fire so that I can go with our Lord, with our husband. But later in the time to come, wives were not so much, and they don't want it. It's a voluntary system. Okay, it's not a force. But this system made it as a force. And husband dies, then wife has to enter into the fire. So, but then some wives, they don't want to enter. And then that created a lot of mess, and then the people started wrongly understanding and things. So this is a voluntary system with the spirit of love, the spirit of the separation and all. They wanted to do this. So this is a Sati Pratha. It's called as Sati Pratha. Okay. So the Kunti wanted to enter, but then what happened? Let us see. Matri shook her head. She pleaded with the Kunti. The monarch died as he approached me for intercourse. His desire was not satiated. Should it not be I who goes to the regain of the dead body to gratify him? I am still clasping him even now and will not allow him to go without me. Oh Kunti, please let me go. So Madri is telling, I will enter into the fire. Kunti is telling, I will enter into the fire. So just imagine how much love they had for their beloved, for their husbands. Nowadays, situations are different. Things are quite changed. But point is, you just see the principle of chastity, a principle of dedication. So it's a very, very high standard. One wife is telling, I will enter into the fire. Another wife is telling, no, you don't go. I will enter into the fire. Nowadays, people throw each other into the fire. Situations have changed, but point is we can learn. So this thing, principle wise, one should understand. Okay, principle wise is what? To develop that much love and affection for our beloveds. So Lord is the object of beloved for everyone. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, the very fact I am living, that means I don't have love for Krishna. Because if I would have love for Krishna, that separation from Krishna would have caused me so much pain that I would have not lived. But very fact I am living, that means I don't have so much love for Krishna. All of you understood this point? Hare Krishna? What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, all of you understood? Yeah. So at least one should do it a bit. This is very high standard. That's why I said in the beginning, right? We should know what are the high standards. We should know what is our standard, and then take a step, knowing the path, how to reach to that standard. So if you don't know only the standard, then you'll think that, okay, fine. Now you know 12th standard is there. I am in the 5th standard. Path is what? Go to 6, go to 7, go to 8. But if you don't know only, you think that I completed my 5th standard, finished, my education is over. So one should know. That's why we can learn from the life of Kunti and Madri. How they each other, they every one of them, they wanted to enter into the fire. They could not live without their object of their love. So Madri felt incapable of bringing up the children by herself. Kunti would be a far better mother. Madri had seen her gentle dealings with the boys. She should surely treat them all equally. Madri begged Kunti's permission to enter the fire with Pandu. O Kunti, the king sought me with a desire. Grant me leave to fulfill that desire. You would be doing me the greatest good. I shall leave my sons in your care without any fear. So she's handing her sons also to Kunti. And Kunti looked compassionately upon Madri as she lay with her arms around Pandu and bathing him with her tears. The noble Kunti felt her heart torn. So torn means what? You understand torn means breaks, right? So when the things breaks, when the two things are getting pulled opposite direction. Now, what are the two things here getting pulled for Kunti's heart? Can someone understand? Someone say, what did you understand? The two.
Yeah, Prabhu, it's love for Pandu and love for Madri.
No. Yeah, love for Madri also correct. But that love for Madri came from where? The root reason. One side is correct, love for Pandu. Other side also almost correct, love for Madri. But that love for Madri came from where?
Because Madri have.
Madri have? Madri have a sons. And Kunti is also having a sons. Right? That's what Madri requested. You are taking care of the sons and all. So I will leave my sons for you. And that's what, as our Divesh was telling, she felt love for Madri, compassion for Madri. So both sides. Now what to do? This or that. Many times in our life also happens. Shall I do this or shall I do that? Now let us see how Kunti takes a step. And that's what the word is written here. What? The noble Kunti. What is this noble word? Anyone knows? The noble. What is this noble? Hare Krishna. What is this noble word? We have in the world today the Nobel word. What is that? Is it the same spelling or different spelling? It is Nobel Prize. Anyway, the pronunciation and the letters are the same almost. Is it the same spelling? What is a Nobel Prize spelling? Nobel or BLE? Anyone knows? Just confirm. All of you heard about the Nobel Prize or no?
Yeah, Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhu, Nobel actually means like kind of very elevated or means having very like very good character.
Prize. Correct.
Nobel means Nobel. Nobel. BEL.
Acha, that is Nobel Prize is Nobel. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, the letters are the same and the spelling is also, the pronunciation also same. So the Nobel Prize is given in the world today for, it is very highest prize. Like in a school, we have the best student award, or in the state, they give the best citizen award, or in the country, they give a Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri award. Like that, the Nobel Prize award is given to the top class people of that field. Like let's say the physicist, the scientist, or the actors, or some person very great thing he has done in the world. So you'll study about him. So the Nobel Prize, that in that connection I remember here is a Nobel Kunti of a very great character. That's why she is being spoken. So today's title we can give Nobel versus Nobel. that title. So she is considered as a great. Why now it is written? Let's see what happens further. Although as the elder wife, it was her privilege to choose to follow the king to the next war. You see, she was the elder, and she had a full privilege. Right? Privilege means, you understand the word privilege? Her privilege. Privilege means her right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the right. She had a right. Like let's say in Ramayana, who had a right for a kingdom? Among four brothers, who had a right
Rama.
for Lord Rama.
Rama.
But Lord Rama, although he had a privilege for kingdom, because father told him, he left and gave the kingdom to the Bharata. Same way, Kunti, Mother Kunti had a privilege here to live with the Pandu and take her own, stop her own separation and go on to the next destination with her husband. But then she chose to follow the king to the how could she deny Madri? So that's her privilege also. It was to her that Pandu had been attracted. If Madri were to leave, she would live with the memory of that brief and terrible moment all her life. Guilt would consume her. You know the word guilt, right? Guilt means what? It's very good, very important word. Guilt. What is meaning by guilt? Guilty feeling. Yeah. Guilty feeling, you say, no?
Prabhuji, like,
Yeah. Quickly, not able to hear you. So the guilt means something wrong we did, but then now we are not able to express that. So if you're not able to express, then inside the heart, because we did that wrong or something happened and we could not work it out, so that feeling remains inside. That's called as a guilt. So guilt would consume her because of Madri's embrace, Pandu died. And if Madri lives all throughout, then instead of that fire, this guilt fire only will consume. So in one of our wisdom 10 sessions, if you have attended, there we had covered this guilt. Along with the anguish of being unable to fulfill her lord's last desire. Although she longed to follow her husband, Kunti could not be so cruel to her co-wife. She touched Madri gently and said, "So be it." Kunti then went, the heavy heart, towards the ashram. So what is going to happen means, so be it means what? What's going to happen?
okay. So Madri is going to the
Madri is going to enter into the fire with Pandu, and Kunti went to the ashram to take care of the 5 sons. Okay. What happens further? That we'll study in our next week. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So take a note of these points. I hope you're noting down. You are patiently hearing every day. But if you write down, it makes you a great treasure with you. Whatever you learned or understood in your language, you can write. First point is about that Vrindavan episode I said, how one should be satisfied with one's services to the Lord and devotees. And then next we studied about Kunti's Nobel character. So the fire of separation and a fire of burning. Fire of separation is much more. That's Sati Pratha we discuss. And at least we can take our steps of developing that attraction. So without Lord, I cannot. So with one last question, we'll conclude by doing Vaishnav. Which character? Keep a mute, Sudhir. So which character in Srimad Bhagavatam, he also had so much love for Krishna that he was always in a crying mode only if Krishna is not there around. Anyone knows? Very famous character. Personality. Instead of saying character, personality. From childhood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, already I said. I'm asking especially from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Very good. Prahlad Maharaj also.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes. Prahlad Maharaj description also comes. Yeah. There is a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the section of Prahlad Maharaj 7th canto. Recently we read. Prahlad Maharaj used to cry because of not seeing Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj used to look for Krishna, search for Krishna, and always think of Krishna, like that is been described. Yeah. I was remembering about Uddhava. Uddhava also used to play childhood days, childhood time, and Uddhava appreciates Krishna like anything. And all of you know the episode of Mother Radharani. That is the highest example. How she was not ready to open the eyes also because she wanted to see first Krishna. first darshan of Krishna. So these examples, at least we can develop our little attraction. We have attraction for chocolates, we have attraction for sports, we have attraction for cinemas, we have attraction for our own demands and wants. But at least we can learn to sacrifice for the sake of others and then give pleasure to the Lord and his devotees. So that's the great, the gopis also reciting. Yeah. So at least we can take our best so that every day, oh, if I not chanted, I should feel that guilt. Oh, I did not chanted my rounds today. How much I am getting so much lazy? Why I'm not getting up early? Why I'm not doing my studies nicely? Because then Krishna will not be happy. So one should feel that. Then that highest stage will be achieved. Will be possible to at least understand. So, okay, so this is a very great example we learn from these things. Thank you all very much for joining and giving your kind association. Let us end with Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Jai.